Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay. Don't know where the hell that came from, but Sunny's in a bathtub warning us about this Royal Rumble being unusual. For the most part, she isn't wrong, I suppose.
The reigning champion is defined by Hart.
Didn't even take 40 seconds before we put out our first pun of the night. Get it? Champion has Hart. Bret Hart. Ha 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 ha. I get that Goldust is supposed to be bizarre, but there comes a time when the bizarre situations get a little too much, especially tattooing your rival's name in a heart.
The new force invading the Federation.
Oh my god, stop!
But tonight, we got our Super Bowl!
Mr. Perfect believes that the Royal Rumble is WWF Super Bowl, when in actuality, that would be WrestleMania. Doesn't matter if the Rumble is more exciting to look forward to. WrestleMania is always going to be the biggest event. Because the second J is reversed, I have no choice but to assume that is actually an L, which means Jeff Jarrett probably changed his last name to Larry, or he thinks he's in the Justice League, I don't know. I like this. Not even 5 minutes into the show and we are already starting the match with Jeff Jarrett and Ahmed Johnson. The pyro has hit, the lights are on, let's get the show on the road.
Ahmed wants to get it on with Double J.
That's what she said.
But he does not have Ahmed.
Jeff Jarrett fails to connect a hip toss on Ahmed Johnson and actually has to pause for about 5 seconds just for it to get through his head that Ahmed might possibly be stronger than him.
Does indeed. Standing side headlock.
Jeff Jarrett says that he is going to give Ahmed Johnson a wrestling lesson and then does everything in his power not to give Ahmed Johnson a wrestling lesson. Unless the lesson was always make sure to stall for time so your opponent can recover.
This time scooped up in.
Wow, you can literally hear the pitch of the scream transcend from Monstrous Beast to Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Cover. No. And.
I'm only guessing this referee must hate Jeff Jarrett or doesn't want to be here, otherwise why is he counting so fast?
Right back up. Ahmed. No.
Let's be honest, Ahmed Johnson was screwed even if Jeff Jarrett didn't move out of the way. Would have tossed himself over the top rope while Jeff merely bounced off the rope and fell to the canvas. I can only guess that Ahmed wanted to practice not getting eliminated in the Royal Rumble match itself since he was lifting his legs up. Also, gotta be careful because Ahmed Johnson nearly broke his damn hand flying over the top rope like that. There are just some things certain wrestlers should not risk.
Down into the back and.
Honestly, how does it not register to Jeff Jarrett that his double axe handles are having no effect on Ahmed Johnson after the second one failed? At that moment, I'd chop block the legs, especially when he's doing the little dance. Impressive for someone Ahmed's size to do that. However, he took the worst of that fall because he missed the mats and landed straight on the damn concrete. I'm more concerned about his well-being than I am about Jeff's here. This referee seriously doesn't have any peripheral vision and misses a massive guitar, making its presence felt as Jeff Jarrett slowly ascends to the top rope. Jeff Jarrett actually believes that he won the match via disqualification after hitting Ahmed Johnson in the head with his guitar, and is visibly confused when the referee puts his arm back down. And we never get to see the results of Ahmed Johnson getting his revenge on Jeff Jarrett. Not a good start to the show here.
But I know I'm about to have the time of my life.
Until my quad gets torn. I'm only guessing the spotlight is not shining on Sunny because she's no longer in the bathtub from earlier, and that pissed off the technicians operating them.
I'm gonna have the tag team championship.
Is it weird that part of me actually wants to see the Body Donnas win the WWF Tag Team Championships just to see Sunny steal all the glory from them?
Who's going to start things off?
Vince McMahon questions who's going to start things off when he should really be asking why the referee rang the bell before either team had only one member in the ring each. He is the boss after all. Well, that's what you get for prematurely celebrating literally 25 seconds into a title match. Or any match for that matter. Zip had the best timing when Bart Gunn used the ropes to throw him out of the ring. Meanwhile, Skip jumped way too late and made it look like he wanted to throw himself out of the ring. Hope I don't have to cringe too much throughout this night. Sorry, Skip, but that looked way better when Ric Flair was the one randomly feigning in his matches. Anyone else? Not so much. This tag team title match so far has been going nowhere, so I'm not that surprised that we're focusing on Sunny here. Still a shame that she's the most entertaining part of the match. She's not even competing in here. Damn, Skip hit Bart Gunn so hard his own strap suddenly lost its ability to stay on his shoulder and collapsed. Female manager gets accidentally knocked off the apron when the wrestlers bounce off the ropes cliche. I'm honestly surprised that Zip is doing nothing about Billy Gunn tending to Sunny on the outside, like he's literally standing above them and sees one of his opponents tending to someone who isn't their manager. I'd be throwing hands at this point.
And Bart.
Bart? That is clearly Zip. Or is that Skip? I don't know, they look very similar. Regardless, neither one of those guys is Bart Gunn. I don't understand confusing the team apart from each other, but how do you confuse them with Bart?
That's Skip.
Haha, you failed. Whatever the hell that was supposed to be. There was a lot of miscommunication here and I am so confused.
Or Skip or Zip or whatever his name is too.
I gotta take a sin off for the hilarious way Vince McMahon acknowledged his own confusion on which one is Skip and which one is Zip while keeping the momentum of the pinfall going. He was honestly one of WWF's best commentators in this era.
Yes, he got it. Yes, he did. He got him.
Seriously? You can clearly see the referee letting everyone know that it was only a 2 count, yet you're still insisting the Body Donnas won the match? Come on. Mr. Perfect continues to get less and less perfect with every match that he commentates throughout this night. Alright, I gotta admit, that was a great cinematic shot of Goldust's head appearing when Razor Ramon is being gifted on his behalf. Nearly a full minute of waiting around in the dark for Goldust to make his appearance. He's bizarre indeed, but I don't want the timing to also be bizarre here.
The bad guy can contain his temper.
I mean, if Razor Ramon can't contain his temper, the worst that could happen is he accidentally gets himself disqualified. Which of course would mean that he retains the Intercontinental Championship anyway, so what does he have to worry about? Aside from maybe Goldust's bizarre intentions for him once this is all over, of course. Marlena is smoking a non-lit cigar. What's the point of pretending you're smoking that thing if it's not actually lit?
Razor objecting, I guess, to the president.
Well, since Razor Ramon started the match with his Intercontinental Championship still being worn around his waist, I guess it's safe to say it's legal to use as a weapon? Referee rang the bell before it was moved, mind you. Razor Ramon just stands around and lets this happen. After seeing Goldust creep me out for weeks on end, I don't think I'd hesitate to kick his ass here.
He loses the title, he'll be the sad guy.
Wah wah. The majority of this 15-minute match is Goldust either touching himself, touching Razor Ramon, or Razor standing around super creeped out. Damn shame that the Special Victims Unit doesn't exist yet, as it's 1996 here.
Razor Ramon.
Careful, Razor. Judging by Goldust's behavior toward you, there's a 95% chance he actually enjoyed that spanking. I'm shocked that Marlena still hung out with Goldust after he used her as a human shield in the match, and more than once, too. Plot twist, Marlena is actually Tinkerbell and she sprayed the Goldust in Razor's face so that the bad guy can fly.
Anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Indeed, anything can happen. The big example here is the referee's leg blocking the camera's view of Marlena. So much for your good camera shot here. Razor Ramon is addicted to Goldust's, I don't know, what do we call it? Shattered dreams? Bizarre ones? It's a good thing the 1-2-3 Kid used both his legs to hit Razor Ramon in this moment, because the right leg literally went over Razor's head and missed him completely. Imagine you interfere in a match and miss your target. Also, this allows Goldust to win the Intercontinental Championship, so I gotta place the sin because victory due to outside interference is always going to be a sin. Always.
Why do you think it was called the Royal Rumble?
I guess it's never a Royal Rumble event without Jerry the King Lawler making references to royalty because he calls himself the King.
What are my odds of doing it one more time?
Well, considering a majority of the build-up to this Royal Rumble match has been about you and your medical condition, with even your physician cutting his promo about it, I'd say the odds of you winning your second consecutive Royal Rumble match are extremely high.
After Hunter's introduced, from there we go every 2 minutes.
Wait a minute, does that mean that only number 1 starts the Royal Rumble match this year and Triple H has to wait around for 2 minutes when we get started? That is obviously not the case, but Vince McMahon really needs to word things better here. Previously on the Royal Rumble. Hey, who lowered the microphone volume on Vince McMahon? I can hardly hear him, and Henry Godwin's music isn't that loud either, so what's the deal?
And in just a few minutes.
In just a few minutes, the next entrant will arrive? This match has been going on for at least 1 minute. Did they extend the amount of time to 3 minutes now? Oh boy, we're gonna be here for a very long time tonight, aren't we?
Signing complete.
Henry Godwin literally has the chance to eliminate Hunter right here, right now, by simply shoving him out of the ring, yet he just stands there and does absolutely nothing about it. Terrible strategy this early on in the Royal Rumble match. I really thought this Royal Rumble would be different from prior years, but the moment I saw Bob Backlund stop Henry from eliminating Hunter, I knew I was going to be disappointed. Why does this always happen? Burger King chance. You're making me crave... Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't like Burger King. Fun fact, I got threatened with getting plunged through a table by someone for saying that on Twitter. It was so much fun. Well done, Henry. You just slopped several fans at ringside. Gotta be careful where you aim that bucket. By now, we have seen nearly 30 participants wrestle in a Battle Royal at WrestleMania 2, and the ring has always been built bigger for the Royal Rumble event, so I'm pretty sure all 30 participants could fit in the ring. I have probably said this before, but it's worth saying again. I prefer the split-screen format when the next entrant arrives for the Royal Rumble match, compared to turning away from the action entirely, thus a potential elimination will not be missed. WWE should bring this back.
Who will be able to get Mabel out of the ring?
Vince McMahon is questioning who could possibly eliminate King Mabel when history has shown that he's been eliminated in the Royal Rumble match before. Not to mention, Andre the freaking Giant has been eliminated by other participants, including himself. So it's not a curious thought to think about when you look at history. What do you bet Bob Holly is looking around in confusion because Bob Backlund is doing everything in his power not to eliminate him and Hunter, just holding a leg and standing around. I wouldn't go that far. Jake the Snake Roberts got a great reaction from the audience, but that was nowhere near at exploding levels. Maybe Vince was too used to the quiet audience throughout the first hour of the show, and even a small pop would be considered deafening to him. I'm honestly surprised everyone just froze in place while Jake Roberts unwrapped the snake from the bag. Knowing what Jake is capable of, I would have instantly attacked him before he had a chance to untie the rope. I ain't risking a freaking snake crawling all over me.
What's gonna happen, Jake?
What's gonna happen? Are you freaking kidding me, Vince? Even through all I said before, I still gotta take a sin off for the way everyone just retreated from the ring the moment the snake was released. Especially King Mabel, who flipped his way out of the ring. That was freaking awesome. Alright, that was funny. Henry Godwin was thrown into the ropes, and when he came back, King Mabel was knocked backwards and accidentally bumped him over. Subtle moments of comedy is always nice to see in these matches. It's a smart strategy for Jerry Lawler to hide under the ring, but it does make me question how nobody else thinks to do this in later years. The wrestling ring somehow survived that without injury. If King Mabel was trying to eliminate Yokozuna here, he is doing a terrible job. Just hanging on to Yokozuna's head and back when he should actually be trying to lift his damn legs in the air. Yokozuna's not even moving here. I absolutely love this. Razor Ramon doesn't even wait for a dramatic appearance later in the match to go after the 1-2-3 kid. Immediately charges at him for costing him the Intercontinental Championship moments ago. Seriously? Yokozuna is nearly identical to King Mabel in size, and you can't believe that he was capable of eliminating him? Why is Mr. Perfect being anything but perfect on commentary?
Wait a minute, Jake, the snake is gone!
Even if Jake was seconds away from being eliminated, he wasn't, he survived, Vince McMahon has got to work on his timing because Jake was not even over the top rope when he said that. Vader has arrived in the Royal Rumble match, and one of the first things he does is bring Savio Vega back into the ring instead of eliminating him. What was the point of that? The production team chose to be a dick to Jake Roberts by keeping the cameras on him when he prepared to connect a signature DDT, and then cut away from him the moment he actually hits the DDT. What a bunch of assholes. What?
They reinforce the ring.
Given how the crew knew that wrestlers like King Mabel, Vader, and Yokozuna were going to be competing in this match, I'm pretty sure they already prepared the ring for that sort of thing. And if they haven't, well, here's to hoping the place doesn't collapse. Yeah, I ain't buying this number draw as a random thing since Squat Team number 2 showed up conveniently after Squat Team number 1 did. Hell, they showed up in order of the numbers in their ring names too.
Can you believe that Helmsley is still in this match?
Considering Ric Flair previously won this match after lasting over an hour, yes, I can believe that Hunter is still in this. Owen Hart be like, I have the chance to eliminate Bob Holly right here, right now. Now, let's punch him and cause him to go back into the ring.
Vader coming back upstairs.
Savio Vega is most likely wondering why Vader isn't using his full might in the punches. He's literally stuck in place thanks to Yokozuna, so he ain't going anywhere. Yet the punches Vader has given him are somehow ineffective.
Takes a shot as well.
The 1-2-3 kid was already starting to fall before Shawn Michaels could punch him, or he just wanted to test his balancing skills and it failed miserably. I gotta take two sins off for that. Shawn Michaels eliminating both Vader and Yokozuna at the same freaking time is amazing. He deserved to win his second Royal Rumble match based off that alone. Post-elimination assault. This is something I gotta throw in 10 sins for. The elimination of Shawn Michaels was deemed invalid because Vader was already eliminated himself. The reason this doesn't make any sense is because there are no disqualifications in the Royal Rumble match, and it's also legal to eliminate yourself, as demonstrated by Andre the Giant. If you go over the top rope and both feet touch the floor, you're out. It doesn't matter how, why, or who did it. The very awkward way Shawn Michaels attempted to throw out Jim Cornette. Oh yeah, Jerry Lawler's in this match still. The unfortunate reality of doing the hide under the ring strategy is everyone completely forgets that you still exist in the match.
Just might be out. What sense did that make, McMahon, to pull Bob Holly off?
Thank you! That's what I'm always saying. What's the strategy in preventing eliminations in the Royal Rumble match?
Anyone could win.
Boy, that's gotta suck for Barry Horowitz. Enters the ring and immediately gets ambushed in the corner by Diesel. Well, it was nice knowing you. It is somehow impossible for Owen Hart to simply push Shawn Michaels forward, which would for sure eliminate him from the Royal Rumble match. Sure, Shawn is hanging on, but he's still upside down and gravity is not exactly on his side in terms of strength here. Someone in the audience actually took a big risk by trying to slap Isaac Yankem and missing him. You would not want to see the true dark side of Isaac, trust me on that. Plus, I'd hate to see you get ejected from the arena too. Heartbreak, right? Infringement. Damn, the place got really quiet. Guess the 1996 Royal Rumble wasn't really one of the more popular ones. True story, the Ringmaster was supposed to receive a significant push as a result of being in the Final Four of this Royal Rumble match, but failed to hang on when Fatu clotheslined him over the top rope. Let's just be thankful WWF didn't somehow find a dumbass way to make that elimination invalid like earlier with Shawn Michaels. Vince McMahon says that Duke Draze is arriving at number 30 with a garbage can, but Duke shows up without a garbage can. You really gotta stop being premature with your calls, Vince. Damn, when you think about it, Diesel saving Shawn Michaels from elimination turned into the biggest mistake of his entire career. Because if the British Bulldog was successful in eliminating Shawn, everything would play out as it did, only with Diesel getting the final elimination and the victory for himself. Goes to show that one stupid decision can cost you everything. Well, that was one of the most easy and anticlimactic eliminations of a big man I've ever seen. The dropkick barely grazed Isaac Yankem, yet that was enough to eliminate him. Shawn Michaels wins his second consecutive Royal Rumble match thanks to sweet chin music that ultimately missed Diesel's face and barely grazed his shoulder. It is still impressive that Shawn was able to do it again though. I'll still take off 5 cents as a congratulations.
The following contest.
Even Howard Finkel sounds exhausted that we still got the WWF Championship match after going through the last hour of the Royal Rumble match. Further proof on why the Royal Rumble should always be the main event no matter who's competing in the world title match. Probably should have waited until the ring was cleared before bringing out The Undertaker for the WWF Championship match, but we also gotta have Diesel take his anger out on someone for failing to win the Royal Rumble match, so here you go. One thing I found cool about this is The Undertaker had a brief brawl with Diesel and then was like, anyway, where were we? Proceeding to put on a 30-minute clash with Bret the Hitman Hart. Let's go.
And the official cannot be intimidated by The Undertaker.
That is easier said than done, Vince. I'd like to see you try not be intimidated by The Undertaker even despite running the place. Really? Couldn't have slammed Bret Hart into the canvas? Would have been a lot more effective compared to merely dropping him. Bret Hart had to put his legs on the bottom rope several times before the referee ever realized that was going on. Amidst all the pain, Bret was also likely frustrated that the referee was ignoring his feet on the ropes. Referees gotta have full ring awareness, not just looking at shoulders. Fun as this match is, a lot of the first 10 minutes is The Undertaker clawing at Bret Hart's face, and not much else. Ow! My own knees hurt from just watching the way Undertaker went sailing into the stairs. The stairs barely moved, which adds into the pain. That was freaking amazing. So basically, Vince McMahon is saying that this match is a no disqualification match, but not really. I don't see why The Undertaker is trying to yank at Bret Hart's hair when he could just grab him by the tights and pull him away. It's not like the hair is the only way to take down the Hitman. Or is it?
Be broken.
But I thought you said the referee is going to allow rules to be broken in this match. Don't think I forgot about that, Vince.
Bret from Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
I'm guessing Vince is merely bored of the slow pace of the match and had to talk about something to keep the interest alive. So let's talk about where Bret is from. I don't care if it was stated that the rules could slightly be broken in this match, I still gotta place us in for attempted strangulation. Yeah, take that, Stairs! Bret Hart debated with himself about whether or not he should attempt to kip up, but ultimately decided that's a bad idea. That was weird seeing his legs going up and down.
What do you gotta do to beat this guy?
Well, oddly enough, Bret Hart has literally done everything to The Undertaker except try to lock in the sharpshooter, the one move he uses to finish out the majority of his opponents. So, maybe he could use that move to win?
Trying to get the Undertaker. No, the Undertaker.
Nice chokeslam counter by The Undertaker, about to get the sharpshooter cinched in, and he quickly grabs Bret Hart's throat before the latter had the chance.
Official out of the ring.
Damn, we went through nearly 30 minutes of this world title match at the pace of an unfortunate traffic jam, all just for the main event to end in a disqualification. I get that we want to set up WrestleMania matches here, but the main event ending in a disqualification is always a massive disappointment.